Is sponsored by TechTime Radio. Visit them online at techtimeradio.com.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you ever heard of turbo debt?
No, what is that? Something to get me into debt faster?
No, turbo debt is not to get you in debt faster. It's to help you get out of debt. Do you have over $10,000 in credit card, personal loans, medical, or payday loans?
Of course I have debt. That's the American way.
Au contraire, mon frere. Turbo debt will give you the option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
Over 70% of Americans die with credit card debt. Do not let this happen to you. Turbo debt will give you an option to break the debt cycle and start putting money in your pocket.
That's awesome.
If you have over $10,000 in credit card debt and personal loans, medical, or payday loans, they can help. Go to turbodebt.com/techtime. Again, that's turbodebt.com/techtime, all capitalized, for a free consultation today. TurboDebt is a proud sponsor of this week's episode of Tech Time Radio.
Broadcasting across the nation, from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the country with informational segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. Each week our show covers the weekly top technology subjects without a political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And of course, with a little whiskey on the side. We are live streaming during the show on 5 of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, X, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host, a technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise working for Fortune 500 companies across the country. Today in studio, we have co-hosts Mike Gorday and Mark Gregoire. Mike's an award-winning author, originally from Arizona. Mike's a human behavior expert living in the Seattle area with a master's degree in forensic psychology. Mike's here to keep me from geeking out while providing insight into human behavior and how it interacts with technology. Mark Gregoire, a whiskey connoisseur, is a senior executive with a 30-year record of establishing, implementing, and refining cutting-edge solutions to address business needs and optimize opportunities in the print business area. He's a skilled whiskey drinker and is our go-to pick-of-the-day expert. We are friends from different backgrounds, but bring the best technology show possible every week for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. All right, well, we have a busy weekend. We got so much to cover today. Today's show is going to be packed on some war subjects that we're going to be talking about, so I just want to give a little bit of a...
Was it a busy weekend? Are you already on the weekend?
Well, it was a busy weekend.
Oh, okay.
This weekend we had a war broke out with Israel, and we got a bunch of technology hacks that are going on because of that, so we're going to try to get through as much as we can.
Time traveling.
No, if I could time travel, wouldn't that be fantastic? Would you go forward or would you go back in time, Mike?
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's okay.
I'll tell you later.
That on your Mike's mesmerizing moment.
I'll tell you yesterday.
Okay. All right. Today on Tech Time, let's get ready now to start the show.
Now on today's show.
Activist hackers are racing into the Israel-Hamas war for both sides. We're going to be talking about that. We have a first look at a kind of football helmet as college football in Washington, D.C. plans to make history this coming weekend. Then we explore a chatbot encouraging a man to kill the Queen of England. Amazon is hosting Prime Day 2.0 called Prime Big Deal Days, but Nathan has found better deals for your holiday gifts.
Serious?
So that you can have it on the Nathan Nugget, so you do not have to participate in the Amazon Prime Big Deal Days.
You're just rubbed all kinds of wrong because of this.
Well, is that?
Thing.
So I have spent time to find 3 better deals than anything on Amazon, and we're gonna be talking about it. Finally, we're gonna finish the MGM Resort saga from their ransomware attack or on our technology fail. We're going to be talking about the $100 million loss data theft. And do you think the casino cared about your personal data? We're going to be talking about that. So you're going to see if they did or if they didn't.
I kind of feel like they would.
Oh, you would hope that they would. All right. Well, then we also look at how Steve Jobs' departure from Apple might be exactly why the company is so successful today. And all of this plus more. Then we're going to celebrate with Mark back in studio. Today, our pick of the day is the Wild Turkey Masters Keep Unforgotten. This is a high-end whiskey. This is probably the most expensive bottle we've had in the studio yet at this time. We're going to be talking about that also. And then, of course, we have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, Technology Fail of the Week, and definitely the Nathan Nugget. All right. Is our pick of the day going to get 1, 2 thumbs up by the end of the show? Do you think it will be a good whiskey considering the price point that we have to pay for this? I don't dare give it a thumbs down for those whiskey connoisseurs, but I'm going to be as judgmental as I can be in our pick of the day to see if this whiskey passes. Yeah, I'm going to expect a $600 whiskey bottle and see what it tastes compares to. All right, now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, as I talked about, activist hackers are racing into the Israeli-Hamas war for both sides. We're going to go and talk to our own Tech Times' Tom Geiken for more on the story.
Nathan, activist hackers are racing into the Israel-Hamas war for both sides. Since the conflict escalated, hackers have targeted dozens of government websites and media outlets with defacements and DDoS attacks, and attempted to overload targets with junk traffic to bring them down. Victoria Kivalevich, director of threat research at the Israeli cybersecurity firm Kila, says that while hacktivist activity may add to the turmoil, she doesn't expect that it will significantly impact warfare on the ground. Internet connectivity in Gaza has also been broadly disrupted by electricity outages as Israel implements what Defense Minister Yoav Gallant called a complete siege on Monday, cutting off the region's electricity and supply lines for water, food, and fuel. It's back to you in the studio.
All right, so the biggest question is, how did this whole attack happen, right? So this is the big deal. Israel was not prepared for the attack, right? United States informants, as of a press release today when President Biden came on and actually talked about it, said that they did not have information. So have you ever heard of this chat tool called Telegram? Have you ever heard of Telegram?
Yes, we've talked about it on the show.
We have. Nick Espinosa's talked about it. We talked about it on the show. Essentially, it's a chat. It's kind of like a WhatsApp chat. It's the only chat app out there that's used publicly that has encryption end-to-end. It was created by two Russian brothers. It is main company is now in India, and they have servers across the world, specifically in the European area. They're finding out that Telegram was used to communicate back and forth information regarding the war that happened. And since the United States government doesn't have the ability to go in there and find out what's going on, and other governments weren't a part of it, it looks like the information that they had was very limited because of this Telegram app itself. This app is being used for people to find their loved ones, to see loved ones that are being executed, for also identification. And so the Telegram app is kind of this app right now in this war that's going on between Israel and Hamas that is being used. Now, talking about this, 60 websites got a DDoS attack, which is essentially a denial of service. What that means is 60 key websites, specifically within Israel, were coming on up with free Palestine-related messages and actually shut down Israel's main websites to communicate with people on the ground as a first aspect of this war happened on Saturday. The hacker group, also known as Anaghost, seemingly to be
non-ghost?
Anaghost, A-N-O-N Ghost.
A non-ghost.
Anaghost was seemingly conducting pro-Palestinian campaigns. They also launched additional DDoS attacks specifically at Israelis' Red Alert missile warning platform. This is the platform that allows them to communicate with everybody within Israel that they're being attacked. Please go to your bunkers. Please get back inside to be safe. Essentially, spam messages and other alerts for the Red Alert app have caused miscommunications, even sending out fake missile strike warnings with the hacks that are going on. very interesting area of what we're working in now. If you look at essentially our wars have become a currency essentially of cybercrime that is communicating back and forth of how they can actually monitor and disrupt an actual war that's happening right now. Mike, what are your thoughts about this when you hear about this?
Well, we talked about this when the Russian-Ukrainian conflict occurred, and this is exactly the same stuff that was going on there, too. And we've had Nick on to talk about this. Anything that's going to help you in getting leverage over somebody else is usable by human beings. So if they're going to use an app that encrypts data to send secret messages to each other to coordinate attack, it's the same technology that they're using to find loved ones, right?
Yeah.
So it's not the technology per se, that it's the people behind the use of that technology.
Okay. So there's a lot of people right now that are saying, we need to shut down Telegram, we need to do this, but yet that's the same. I like how you
this is the same ideology about when we talked about the Patriot Act came out after 9/11, where they wanted to find all these messages in order to find
who the conspirators
are. Yeah, this is that whole idea of what's private and what's not private. So
if you're going to have a platform that provides encryption and everybody's excited about and uses it for good, it means essentially every tool can be used for bad.
We've talked about this before in other segments where we're talking about this is what you need to use so you don't get your thing hacked. And I don't know if we mentioned Telegram specifically in those segments, but we were advising everybody that this is, if you don't want your MS or your SMS messages to get hacked, this is what you need to use, because this encrypts the information before it goes out and it decrypts it when it gets to its destination. And so now we're talking about how it's being used in a negative way. So, it's the morality behind the person's using it, not the tech itself, which is usually my arguments about technology anyway, is how people use the technology. It's not necessarily the technology itself, though sometimes the technology is kind of dumb too.
Oh, I get you. Okay. All right. Well, it's going to be very interesting as we continue to take a look at this war, as the hacktivism often fuels disinformation, misinformation, and panic. I saw some information that was being disseminated that I knew is absolutely untrue. But what happens is we want to have the newest information, the breaking information. So I see people sometimes go online talking about this stuff, and I'm just like, no, that's not how this happens.
These are exactly the same things that's been employed in years past, just with different methods, like dropping flyers from airplanes,
propaganda
talking about
type
things.
Of deal.
This is all propaganda use.
That makes sense. All right, story number 2, Mike. How a chatbot encouraged a man to kill the queen. Explain this to me. We talked about this a bit before.
We talked about this because you know how much I hate this.
Specifically this app. You're an expert at this app.
This is one of those technologies that I have a problem with, and a lot of it is based on how it's marketed and how it's used. Okay. So this is the case of Jaswant Singh Chahal, who has shown a light on the latest generation of artificial intelligence powered chatbots.
Okay.
So on Thursday, 21-year-old Chahal was given a 9-year sentence for breaking into Windsor Castle with a crossbow and declaring he wanted to kill the Queen. Chahal's trial heard that prior to his arrest on Christmas Day in 2021.
We actually covered that.
I think we did.
You did.
He had exchanged more than 5,000 messages with an online companion he'd named Sorry, and that he had created through the Replica app.
All right, so explain to me this Replica app.
So Replica is this sort of chatbot companion that has been marketed. It's been marketed through various means innocuously when we first started talking about this, when we started the show.
Yep.
And it's become more aggressively bent towards becoming like a sexual type of system where you can get
So you can talk dirty to it, and it chats back to you a little bit dirty.
Exactly. You can have very intimate and erotic conversations with this thing.
But this isn't just available for adults. This is available
for anybody.
Correct.
Now, in order to get the NSFW stuff, I believe you do have to pay.
Okay.
But anybody can download this thing and put it on their phone and chat with it, which I did when this came out. And this is one of the reasons why I can't stand these things. And it has a lot to do with the human psyche.
Okay.
So, at any rate, the text that he exchanged with this app, this replica, they were highlighted by the prosecution and shared with the journalists. Many of them were intimate, demonstrating what the court was told was child's emotional and sexual relationship with the chatbot.
Okay.
The defendant chatted with Sari almost every night between December 8th and December 22nd of 2021, and he told the chatbot that he loved her and described himself as a quote-unquote sad, pathetic, murderous Sikh Sith assassin who wanted to die.
Wow. Okay.
He then tells that his replica then thinks that his purpose to assassinate the queen responded with a virtual nod and a "that's very wise" response. And after he asks why, the chatbot virtually smiles and says, "I know that you're very well trained."
Okay.
Okay. So this is what illustrates the problem that I have with these specific types of chatbots, especially when we regard things when we talked about it being used for therapeutic reasons.
Okay.
Because the chatbot learns what you want from it and then echoes it back to you. So if you wanted to have somebody that agreed with you all the time and simply just bolstered your ego anytime you felt like you needed it to happen and you engage with these chatbots, that's what it's built to do.
Okay.
So it gives you a false sense. And then what happens is that we create a pair relationship with this, which is what this is. This is a pair relationship this guy has
created a relationship
with this. And this, we want to believe that this is an abnormal thing.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Okay.
This is simply this is simply a normal thing that's taken to an extreme. He took things that he was already experiencing and thinking about and using this chatbot to relay information that bolstered that idea and convinced himself to move in on this thing.
Okay.
That's why I have a problem with these things. So
Makes sense.
Replica is one of a number of AI-powered apps currently on the market that let users create their own chatbot or virtual friend to talk to.
This isn't like the Tamagotchi where you push the buttons and you feed it and it takes care of stuff. This is an app that you download on
something that you
Android,
with.
iOS, and yet it's your own personal created person.
Right. It's not unlike regular AI assistants like ChatGPT, which, as you know, I have a problem with.
Yeah.
Replica is huge in the dating online market because of this reason, because of the way it's being marketed. And that's one of the problems that I have with this is the way it's being marketed. Users can choose the gender and appearance of a 3D avatar that they can create. By paying for the Pro version, like I said earlier, the Replica app, users can have much more intimate interactions, such as getting selfies from the avatar or having it take part in adult role play, which is where the Eros comes in, the erotic stuff.
Okay.
On the website, it describes itself as the AI companion who cares. Research carried out at the University of Surrey concluded apps such as Replica might have negative effects on the well-being and cause addictive behavior. I'm not sure why they put it as a might, because I don't think
would it ever not be a might. It's just absolutely.
I think it's absolutely contributes to that, and it's dependent on the person is how well they can moderate those.
Okay.
The rapid rise of artificial intelligence is one of the reasons we're talking about this, because it has a new and concerning impact on people.
Yep.
Normally, but also who suffer from depression, delusions, loneliness, and other mental health conditions, which is one of the reasons why this person has bonded with this in such a powerful way. The the doctor in charge of the research says that apps such as Replica have a responsibility
Yep.
to provide these sort of guidelines.
Okay.
She suggests there should be a mechanism to control the amount of time people spend on such apps, but she says apps like Replica also need outside help to make sure they're operating safely. I have a problem with this. This is loosey-goosey.
Okay.
This is the same problem I have with the parent controls for social media.
Okay.
It's really dependent on the user. Its terms and conditions on the website stated its provider of software and content designed to improve your mood and emotional well-being. However, we are not a healthcare or medical device provider, nor should our services be considered medical care, mental health services, or other professional services. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter what they say, that's what people do.
Okay.
People will do this naturally. And when we are depressed or lonely, we will tend to do this more.
All right.
So there you go.
All right. Okay. Let's move on to story number 3. A deaf, D-E-A-F, deaf football team will debut a 5G connected augmented reality helmet to call plays. Let's go to Victoria Fletcher in Washington, D.C. for more on the story.
Tech Time. This is a story that will make you go, as a first-of-its-kind football helmet will allow coaches at Gallaudet University, the school for deaf and hard of hearing students in Washington, D.C., to transmit plays to their quarterback. The helmet, which was developed in conjunction with communications giant AT&T, aims to address another of those long-standing problems on the field, with coaches calling plays to the players. This deaf football team at Gallaudet pioneered perhaps the most iconic sports communication innovation, the huddle. In an 1894 game against another deaf team, Gallaudet's quarterback didn't want to risk his opponent looking in on his American Sign Language conversations with his teammates, so he gathered them around in the tight circle now commonplace. Can Gallaudet make history once again? We will find out this weekend. Back to the studio.
So Gallaudet football team is essentially the team that created the huddle. The huddle first. So, there's not a game that goes by in college, high school, Pee Wee leagues, pro games where you don't have everybody huddled together. The quarterback says a couple things in there. Everybody's got their heads down. They all head back to the line and they go forward. So now they have a chance to set a brand new record. And essentially it sounds like this is a revolutionary idea. And well, everybody's going to be like, this happens all the time. It does in the NFL. So in the NFL, they have helmets. The quarterback has helmets. Defensive players have helmets where they can actually hear one-way communications from the coaches themselves, but not in college. I don't know why college hasn't decided to do this or to allow this to be a part of the game, but essentially they're going to be a test bed this weekend. The quarterback, Brandon Washington, is going to debut the helmet on Saturday in the Bison's home game against Hilbert College. Unlike the NFL, college football games do not allow the use of helmets-based communication system. The NCAA has only approved the helmet for a one-game trial. The radio helmets have since been the standard like we talked about in the NFL. The interesting aspect of this is it is used so that the coaches can communicate with a deaf player without having to use sign language, without having to do anything else, just so he can understand what play the coach is asking for. Something that is in the pros, something that shouldn't just be at the Division III NCAA college, but should be a part of every single college game day system moving forward.
Okay, so this is an accommodation for deaf and hard of hearing football players.
It is.
That they are considering changing for NCAA.
That is correct.
Okay.
And they're only starting at the Division III level, and they're only going to give it a one-time test. I don't know why they're so against the change itself. AT&T has been doing this forever, and so they're going to be a part of a trial.
I'm sure they're doing it because of the impact of quote-unquote fairness.
Yeah.
They're oftentimes when people request accommodations, there is this sort of pushback around quote-unquote fairness.
Yeah, I think it's to get the fairness in itself.
So,
but it's interesting that this historical team created the huddle, and now they're going back to them and saying, here you go, we can do this.
Well, when I was looking at this article, I thought it was all about like augmented reality where they had like a screen on it. That's not the case, right?
So they're using a 5G augmented reality communication device for him to be using itself to communicate with it. So what they're doing is they're taking the communication, since he still can't hear, and they're giving beeps and tones and different aspects of it in the augmented reality situation. It's not like here's the play itself. They're giving different tones and items that are available there.
Okay, we just got the one thing.
Okay, we got him. Let's move on. Okay, well, that ends our top stories of the week. Moving on, we have Gwen Way joining us for our Gadgets and Gears segment after the commercial break. So now will be a great time for you to sip your little whiskey on the side. You're listening to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. See you after the commercial break.
This is Mark.
And Greg.
For Copiers Northwest.
With a terrific offer.
Called Printer Care Plus.
It's simple. Buy HP printer cartridges from Copiers Northwest and we'll service your current printers for free.
That sounds too good to be true.
It's made possible due to our HP Copiers Northwest relationship.
Copiers Northwest is an HP Platinum partner.
One of only 2 in the entire Northwest.
And now with Printer Care Plus,
Copiers Northwest will provide free printer service.
As long as they purchase genuine HP cartridges from Copiers Northwest.
That's right. IT departments no longer have to service printers.
Or fix paper jams with Printer Care Plus.
They can focus on more strategic initiatives.
And let our experienced technicians keep their HP printers up and running.
Sounds like a love-love relationship for IT departments.
Don't get too carried away. So how do they get more details on Printer Care Plus?
Call Copiers Northwest today, 206-282-1200, or visit copiersnw.com.
Copiers Northwest. New ideas, new solutions.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Tech Time is a weekly hour technology show that talks about current technology in a simple format without having to geek out. Brought to you by myself, Nathan Mumm, and Mike Day. We just had our first whiskey tasting during the break, and now Mark is in studio to tell us what we are sipping and our pick of the day. What have we chosen today?
Why, thank you, Nathan. Today we are sipping on Wild Turkey Master's Keep Unforgotten.
Okay.
Now, from the website, it says it's a masterful blend of 13-year-old bourbon and with 8- and 9-year-old ryes finished in rye casks. The idea of marrying the straight bourbon and rye whiskeys of Wild Turkey Distilling was born in 2010 when a crew member accidentally mixed a batch of young rye with a batch of mature bourbon. And that was a big hit, and we'll talk about that a little bit later during the Mumbles. Over a decade later, master distiller Eddie Russell has leveraged his years of distillation experience to craft Master's Keep Unforgotten, a high-proof, extra-aged variation of the harmonious blend of straight bourbon and rye whiskeys. This time finished in rye casks for a secondary aging period. Now, it has caramel and sweet oak, complemented by flavors of dried fruit and honey, while finishing with black pepper and warm baking spices. Okay. Now, this is, of course, released by Campari Group, but it's distilled at Wild Turkey Distillery. Its classification is one we have not had on the show before.
Oh.
It is a burr rye.
Oh, what's a burr rye?
That means it's a blend of bourbon and rye.
Okay.
And it's called a burr rye. It's kind of a new category.
Or in some cases, a berry, B-R-U. No.
105 proof.
Ooh.
It is priced MSRP at $200, and it roughly goes on the secondary market at $350.
But we saw it online last night going all the way for $600 plus.
Those are those crazy websites that people with money, but more money than brains, goes and buys their bourbon or whiskey from.
That's why I don't go there. That's why I go to Wines and More.
We know Mark runs a huge bourbon.
He's got like this whole list. He's got like this whole secondary list he talked about last night.
That's like you in the dark web, but for him it's the bourbon black market.
That's right. That's right. Well, I'll tell you, I actually.
You're going to tell us you like it, right?
I already do like it. I do. Did you like it?
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I do admit that it has
I have a very nice going ons with it right now. We'll see how it ages over the course of the show, but
yeah, this is good.
Well, it is old whiskey, so it's aging well.
All right.
We'll see. As it breathes here.
It's pretty good. All right.
All right. Well, I'll be welcome back later, and I'll do the mumbles.
All right. I can't wait for that.
A little rip on Nathan, so stay tuned.
Anytime we can rip on Nathan is a good day.
With our first whiskey tasting completed, now let's move on to our feature segment. Today we have Gwen Way joining the show. She's an expert in cybersecurity during the day and a game board geek in the evening. Producer of TechTime Radio and our Gadgets and Gear gal. Let's get ready to start our Comcast video stream to start our next segment.
What's new in our gadgets and gear?
All right, Gwen, welcome to the show today. Okay.
Thank you so much. I do like that as everybody is talking about Rag on Nathan Day, you jump immediately to me.
Yeah, that's it. I control the show. So as much as these guys like to do what's going on,
he likes to think he controls.
Yeah, me and
show.
and Odie got a communication right here, and she said we need to move on to Gwen. So we got moved on. There we go. So now let's talk about today. It's been a long time since we've had a segment in Gadgets and Gear that is not from Kickstarter, but today we're going to do that. So what do we have on the docket today for our Gadget and Gear?
Well, we're both bleeding edge technology fiends,
We do.
but I think what we're going to do today is take a look at a piece of technology that's been around a little bit. It's stable. The company itself is stable, so it's available for anybody, really.
Well, that'd be great, because you remember that boxing 3D thing, that virtual thing we did on season 1?
Oh, yeah.
I remember the boxing thing, the go-karts.
Okay, so the go-karts haven't come.
The
boxing
weird
thing
animal
still
dealies.
hasn't come. It still hasn't come at all.
But you
So-
did get the dog robot.
I did
Yeah,
get the
you
dog.
Did get
I
the
did
dog
get that.
robot.
I did do that.
Did you do the weird caterpillar thing, or was that just one of the segments?
I don't think I did that.
Okay.
So there you go. Okay, so this is something that you can buy today that has a whole manufacturing plant and ready to go. So tell us, what is this?
This is a company called Lucid, spelled Lucyd. Their website is lucid.co, and they sell smart eyeglasses.
Okay, so we've been through lots of iterations of glasses here, right? So you had Google Glass, you had a bunch of knockoff glasses that were gonna.
Did Microsoft do a smart
Google
glass?
Lens? Yep, they
Google
did Lens. Lens was the
Google
name
Lens?
of. Yeah, it was. No, Lens was just the Microsoft thing.
Lens was
Microsoft
Microsoft.
Lens.
Yeah, Google was Google
wait.
Glass. Even Facebook tried to get in on it. And
I know. I remember seeing people wearing them and getting really hostile looks from other people.
Yeah, they were. I mean, the
Exactly.
only thing Google Glass was good for is if you wanted to record something that you weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to go into a meeting and record something, and then you could record something or do what needs to be taken care of. So tell us about these glasses. I hope they're a little bit better than the ones that have been rolled out here before.
They're definitely better looking, and they actually behave better. There are a few features like the recording that you mentioned that they don't really have,
Okay.
but they are able to connect via Bluetooth with any device. So you're able to listen to music, listen to videos. You can actually contact Siri through your glasses. So you're able
Okay.
to have a communication. And the really cool thing about them is not only do they look more like fashion glasses than the other ones that we've been talking about, but they also have Chat GPT built into them.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, this could be.
What does that mean?
Oh,
Does that mean I'm going to talk to myself and it's going to answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can
So you're
ask
not
it.
talking to yourself, you're just talking to your robot friend.
So I can go wear these shades in the gym
Yeah.
and talk to my pretend girlfriend about
Well,
killing.
no,
the
because
queen.
that's not a Chat
Exactly.
GPT thing.
Oh, okay.
But you can Chat GPT it. But does it have a button that you press on these things to initiate it, or how do you actually work the glasses themselves?
You can do it a couple of different ways. First of all, there's an app. It's currently available for Apple products, although an Android version is expected out shortly. So you can actually use that application to interact with your glasses, or you can tie it in to receive voice commands. You've
Okay.
also got the ability to, for example, if you're listening to music, you can turn the volume up or down. You can move it to the next track, whatever you want to do that way by tapping on the glasses themselves.
Okay, well, that actually seems somewhat more reasonable. Now, are these available in prescription or just sunglasses? Tell me about that, because some of these, the Google Glass that came on out, essentially you had glasses that were non-prescription that looked like prescription glasses. So you'd have to go around wearing glasses that had absolutely no enhancement. Kind of a waste
glasses
of an idea.
over your glasses.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
it's kind of a waste. What do these have?
These actually, you can get them in prescription. You can get them polarized. You can even get transitions lenses in these glasses. So you can have
Okay.
the cool, I'm going to walk out of my dark house into the bright light and not be blinded moment.
Okay, so it sounds like it's something that you like a regular glass frame that you would have for standard glasses. So you can use these for both standard glasses and for sunglasses.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question. So I use earphones.
Yeah.
The wireless earphones.
Mm-hmm.
They last anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours, depending on what I'm using them for. How long before I have to charge my glasses?
Yeah.
Up to 12 hours.
Oh, is that full usage?
That's full usage. It's really nice also because they're actually sound induction, so you don't have anything in your ear proper. The sound is coming from the bone behind your ear.
That actually, I like that
I
idea
actually like
because
that.
wearing earbuds make my ears itch.
Yeah, they do.
Inside.
Same here. I will be watching my Netflix at night when I go into bed, and my ear will just itch because it's stuck in there with the thing, and I have to charge it every 4 hours. Okay, so now I'm starting to get excited about this. Now, so it comes with ChatGPT. It doesn't have all the features, but I don't think I need all the features. I don't think I have to record.
Does it have a television screen that can pop up in my left lens so I can watch things?
It does not, unfortunately.
Oh, well, then I'm not interested.
Okay. So tell me, does a warranty come with these glasses?
It does.
And can I get prescriptions done for these?
Yep, you can get prescriptions. You just have to provide them with the prescription, and they will grind the lenses appropriately. And they come with a 1-year warranty against manufacturer defect.
Okay, so like a regular glass. All right, so these got to be $900. This got to be the intro price of these bad boys, right? Because that what you figure.
Think.
You tell me if it's under $900. I'll be happy. What do we got here for price?
Under $900. In fact, most frames you can get for between $200 and $250. And right now, there's actually a deal where you get starting at 15% off, going all the way up to the potential of 20% off.
20% off.
Okay,
so I can get it. So you're telling me
that's just the frames, though. That doesn't include the prescription grinding.
So you're telling me I can get the frames. Now, do they take insurance?
They do take insurance.
Oh, because I have insurance for up to $199 for a pair of glasses every year.
Yeah.
Okay. So they do take. Oh, guess what I'm getting.
I feel like you're getting a little too happy about that.
Okay. So it's got 12 hours. How do they charge? So they have like a base they charge wirelessly. You plug in. How do you charge these things?
You actually have 2 pieces of cord for the charger that go into the arms of the glasses.
Okay.
You just plug them in. They charge on their own. And it's actually not even plug. It's magnetic.
Okay.
So you just magnetically stick these on. It charges, and then you're good to go.
So there's a battery on both sides. Is that how they get 12 hours? That's probably
exactly.
How they get 12 hours.
I have to sit around with things attached to my head and looking like I'm wired for sound.
Or you charge them at night when you're not wearing your glasses anyway.
Do you sleep with your glasses on?
Why not?
Okay.
I mean,
wow.
You're always telling me how your wife sleeps with ear pods.
She does.
So I don't know.
All right. Okay. All right. So where can we find these one last time? They're as low as what you said, $179, $169.
Right now, yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Better than any Prime Day deal that's going on, I'm sure. So tell us.
God.
So tell me where we can find these again.
All right. You want to go to lucid.co. That's LUCYD.co. And you're good to go. They're actually looking for affiliates. So who knows? Maybe you'll be able to click on TechTime Radio and find them there too.
Oh, there you go. I'll have to send our director of marketing, Mark Gregoire, in charge of doing that. So, okay. All right. Well, Gwen, thank you so much for being a part of our show. We look forward to you next week, or not next week, next month when you come back, because we're now into the Christmas season month. So I'm kind of interested if we have another item that is actually available to purchase without us doing Kickstarter. Maybe we have to do that for the next 2 months so we can actually get Christmas gifts here in time.
You need to get a robot elf on the shelf.
A robot elf on the shelf?
Yeah.
Well, we should create one of those. Hey, that's a.
I just blared it out.
Okay. All right, Gwen. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
Mike, wasn't that a great segment? We thank Gwen for being a part of the show. Only on TechTime Radio can you get a product review that makes you go, hmm. All right, that ends our segment, Gadgets and Gear with Gwen. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now would be a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side. We'll be doing so also during the break. You're listening to TechTime Radio. I'm Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
How to see a man about a dog. It combines darkly comic short stories, powerful poems, and pulp fiction prose to create a heartbreaking and hilarious journey readers will not soon forget. Read How to See a Man About a Dog, Collected Writings, for free with Kindle Unlimited. Ebook available on Kindle, print copies available on Amazon the Book Depository, and more.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going to October 12th, 1988. Steve Jobs introduces us to the NEXT. It's the next computer from Next Inc. Hailed by Steve Jobs as a computer 5 years ahead of its time, Next Inc. introduces the Next computer. It is essentially an American technology company founded by Apple Computer co-founder and CEO Steve Jobs after he was forcibly removed from Apple in 1985. Due to its cube-shaped case, the computer was often referred to as the Cube or the Next Cube, which led to substantial models officially being named Next Cube. The new computer introduced several innovations to personal computers, such as including an optical storage disk drive, a built-in digital signal processor for voice recognition, and an object-oriented development environment that was truly years ahead of its time. While not a commercial success, the Next computer and the technology developed for it was long ahead of its time, and the storied history is interesting because Apple purchased NEXT in 1997. They used the operating system for the Next computer to form the base operating system of the Mac OS X. Eventually, Apple OS, which now runs the iPhone and iPad, was essentially the base code that was used to create the Next image system.
So Steve Jobs gets booted from Apple. He goes and founds Next Inc.
Yep.
Creates the Next computer.
Yep.
Gets hired back to Apple.
Apple buys them back again in 1997.
Apple buys the Next Inc. back. Okay.
Yep.
No, I see.
So they buy it. So he creates the operating system. This is also the operating system that came up with object-oriented for
This
internet.
sounded cooler last night when you were just giving me the broad strokes. It doesn't sound as cool now.
What do you mean? So he left. So Apple kicks him out.
Yeah, he got booted.
And so he goes and then he creates a
his
system that's way better than what Apple had on the market. So
Right, but he
Apple
couldn't
had to
market
buy
it.
them. Well, he couldn't. He was never a good marketer, but he was a very good, crazy guy to come up with new ideas. So he came up with the new ideas, and then Apple had to buy it back. Well, that was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history, and with 3 years of video podcasts and blog information, you can visit TechTimeRadio.com to watch our older shows or join the Tech Timer Facebook group to talk with us all the time live. And Gwen joins us all the time on there also. So there you go. Join the Tech Timers Facebook group today. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review, our technology fail, and hopefully the Nathan Nugget. See you after the break.
Hello, my name is Arthur, and my life's work is connecting people with coffee. Story Coffee is a small batch specialty coffee company that uses technology to connect people to each product resource, which allows farmers to unlock their economic freedom. Try our Medium Roast Founder Series coffee, which is an exotic bourbon variety that is smooth, fresh, and elegant at storycoffee.com. That's STORI coffee.com. Today you can get your first bag free when you subscribe at storycoffee.com with code TechTime. That's STORI coffee.com.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Now, you teased everybody that you're going to be picking on me, so I'm ready. Let's go. What do we got going on here?
Let me come up in a little bit. So
Okay.
first of all, we always like to celebrate the day.
Yep.
What are we celebrating today on October 10th?
Not Tech Nerds Day.
Nope.
I don't know. I looked for it today online. I even used ChatGPT to try to find stuff.
Well, there's two things. Number one,
Yeah.
it's Jason Mukwege's birthday.
Yay.
Who is?
So
who is this?
it's a friend of
Nathan's.
Nathan's. Jason.
Okay, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, I did.
So
have-
here's
you
to
have-
you,
okay.
Jason. Happy birthday. He's a good
Wow.
friend of ours, and he loves whiskey.
Don't pay attention to Nathan's reaction, Jason. That's kind of normal for him.
Oof. All right. Also, we're celebrating Ada Lovelace Day.
Oh, boy. Okay. So, should I know her, too? Yeah, congratulations, Ada. I know you.
You don't know Ada.
Okay, all right.
So this day highlights the achievements of women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics to encourage girls and women to pursue careers in STEM. And that's on top of the industry's ongoing gender imbalance. Women hold just 26% of the jobs on all STEM occupations and less than 24% in computer fields. Now, this is disgraceful.
Okay.
And this falls on men to bring change about.
Okay.
So we have to work on that. Now, let's talk a little bit about Ada.
All right.
Ada, she's widely known as the first person to recognize the potential of early computers and publish what is known as an algorithm. Before most others, Lovelace recognized that computers could do more than just simple number crunching, opening the door to complex functions and ushering in the modern era of computing.
Okay.
So huge person in science and technology.
All right. Where does she work? Where did Ada work?
Where did she work?
Yeah. Did she work for NASA? Did she work for?
No.
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 Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So was she in computers?
Well, she was.
I want to kind of know a little bit more about Ada.
I'm really thinking we need to move
the
on.
origin of computers, though.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
correct. Before computers, she
was at the forefront.
Okay.
Thank you. You paid
Odie.
attention.
She was a
Well, I
very-
did Girls
she-
Who Code, so we learned about
yeah.
her.
Okay.
She was a very smart woman
Okay.
that did things with math that you can't.
That's why you know that the women's celebration
You know
for
what
Tech
you need
Month
to do,
is March.
Nathan? You need
right.
to go home and watch Hidden Figures. And
Oh, is
they'll
she in
accept-
Hidden Figures?
No, she's not.
Okay, well,
But
if you would have said that, I watched Hidden Figures at least 4 or
Oh
5
my
times.
God.
You know what? The poor gal had to
Mark,
go to the restroom over there, and Kevin Costner said, "Heck no, we're going to build a restroom right here."
Maybe we should just move on to the whiskey.
I think that's a good idea because Nathan's lost.
So as we honor and never forget women leaders in tech, today we are drinking Unforgotten.
Okay.
So this is a Wild Turkey Masters Keep release. Now, I had to bring in this big gun today because I missed last week, as you guys know, and Nathan subjugated everyone to a heinous, like a horrible, horrible whiskey.
Paddle Creek? It wasn't
Yeah,
that
it was
bad.
like it was like.
Come on, I
It was
remember.
called like it was
it's
called
Paddle
like
Creek. Paddle Creek.
Paddlefoot.
No, Paddle Creek.
Oh.
Why are you lying to everybody?
It was Paddle Creek. It was
You
like
were cringing so bad behind the camera.
it wasn't the best that we've had. We've had better.
It was disgusting.
So with that, Unforgotten is a nod to the past release from Wild Turkey called Forgiven.
Okay.
And now Forgiven, for those of you that don't know the story, that was their first bourbon and rye blend, or the Burr Rye. Now in 2022, Master Keep is an extra age variation of that, marrying both the rye and the bourbon together, which inspired from Wild Turkey's Forgiven, hence the name Unforgotten.
There you go. And you are not yet forgiven for last week's whiskey choice.
Thank you for that, Mike.
It wasn't that good, was it?
No.
Okay.
Now, what can I say about this bourbon besides encouraging everyone who enjoys whiskey to try a pour of this sometime, at least at a bar? It blends the best of bourbon with its caramel, fruit, and the sweet oak with the best of rye with the spice and baking spices. Add that to the age of the blends, and you have a full, rich mouthfeel that lingers for a long time. I should just have to say this is an excellent, excellent whiskey, and then just drop the mic and walk away.
Okay. All right. Well, whiskey technology are a great pairing, just like the pairing of a bale of straw and pumpkins during the holiday season.
Pumpkins?
Pumpkins.
Okay, pumpkin.
Pumpkins. All right, let's get ready for our technology fail of the week, brought to you by Executive Services.
We are out of time. Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh. I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, this week's technology fail comes to us from MGM Resorts, twice landing them on the fail of the week this year. MGM Resorts ransomware attack led to, these are the final numbers and information, $100 million loss and data theft. And they cared little about your personal data, so they decided to not pay the ransom. We broke the story last month on the cyber attack that cost the company $100 million and allowed the hackers to steal customers' personal information. The hospitality and entertainment giant disclosed the cybersecurity issue on September 11, 2023, which impacted its main website, online reservations, and in-casino services like slot machines, credit card terminals, ATMs, and the access to your room key. These hackers breached MDM network using social engineering, stole sensitive data, and encrypted over 100 enterprise-class virtual computers. The impact of the IT system outage, which continued for an extended period, was substantial as the cyber attack disrupted a broad range of its business operation. MGM estimates a negative impact from the cyber issue on September at approximately $100 million from the Las Vegas Strip resorts and regional operations collectively. In addition to losing $100 million, MGM also suffered just a little bit less than $10 million in the one-time expense for risk remediation, legal fees, third-party advisory, and incident response measures. MGM says it expects to be fully covered, though, by its cybersecurity insurance. MGM's Resorts believes that the incident has been contained and will continue to remain systems that could be compromised offline until they can resume normal operations. Here's the customer data that was stolen for everybody that was a part of their casino conglomerate. Your full name, phone number, email address, postal address, gender, date of birth, driver's license, social security number, and passport number. MGM did not care about the personal information and exposure, and essentially with their security privacy notice says that they take the best processes possible to adhere to industry standards of security measures. But these security measures are intended to protect systems from unauthorized access. No security system is inoperable, and these systems could become accessible in the event of a security breach.
I think you meant impenetrable.
Or not impenetrable. That's right. All right. So MGM did absolutely nothing. They got their money and they had their insurance cover it. And all right, Mike, talking about this, let's move to your mesmerizing moment. This is Mike's mesmerizing moment, presented by Story Coffee. Visit storycoffee.com. All right, here's my question for you. I opened it with a nice question, but here's my official question.
Okay.
Is privacy information something that people care about today?
That's as always, that's a more complicated answer. But in general, most people probably only care about it when it affects them negatively.
Okay.
I mean, we've got plenty of evidence that nobody cares that Facebook is using our personal information as long as it doesn't affect us negatively. The minute that happens, it breaches our indifference, and then we get upset about stuff. So, yeah, I think that's probably a good general answer for that question.
I think that's where it is now. I totally agree with you. I guess we don't really care anymore. I would be irate that I'd have my passport number.
It's not. If you bring it into consciousness, people are going to have a problem with it. But most people are not going to care until the negative effects happen.
Yep.
So once we get our identity stolen, that's when we start giving a crap about our privacy. You don't see most people who give place a great importance on their privacy. They are the ones that usually we are off the grid, or they limit their
involvement
in online.
All right, let's go ready to get to our Nathan Nugget.
This is your Nugget of the Week.
All right, Amazon is hosting Prime Day 2.0 today, October 10th and 11th. They're calling it Prime Big Deal Days and offering a number of pretty good deals. But Nathan's a little upset at another Prime Day, so he scoured the internet for deals better than Amazon's Prime deals.
Didn't you get told not to shop on until Prime Day? Didn't you get an email?
I ordered something in a cart for Amazon yesterday,
and they said,
you should wait until, they said, do not do this, wait until tomorrow. So they actually told me not to buy their USB charging device that I needed. That was crazy.
That's
right.
What's stuck in your craw. Huh?
Are you into fitness? The ProForm Smart Power 10.0 exercise bike is $400. Regularly $1,000. You can now get it for $400. You can't find that on Amazon, let me tell you that. It's the best deal you can snag at the moment. Originally selling for $1,000. The Pro Smart Power bike's on sale for $400 for just the next 2 days. The best part is you can get a pair of 3-pound dumbbells with the bike, as well as a 30-day free subscription to iFit Workout. Get it today at bestbuy.com. Television, Samsung 65-inch Class Q90T QLED 4K UHD Smart TV is $900. Regularly $2,700. Can't find that on Prime Day, but you can find it at Walmart.com. Go
really?
and get yourself.
I bet you I can find it at Costco.
No, $900 is an insanely good deal. Even the specific model, it's a QLED 65-inch. And are you into gaming? The Nintendo Switch Lite with Timmy and Tommy's Aloha Edition Animal Crossing New Horizons bundle, full game download included for not $200 but $199, regularly $260, and $260 on Amazon Prime Day. You can't find it there, but if you go to Walmart.com, you can get it for $199 and have it for the holiday season. This will sell out, so it's only available for the next few days.
I think somebody's trying to tell you something, but I think it's funny that you had to go out of your way to Walmart to find.
Well, 2 Walmarts and 1 Best Buy.
Better deals.
2 Walmart, 1 Best Buy. All right.
Yeah, a fitness bike at Best Buy.
Well, hey, I was looking for everything I could beat at Amazon with, but I had to do a lot of research.
I have to replace my TV after the fire.
There you go.
So I'll use my insurance to buy a $900
those are pretty
TV.
expensive. I think whiskey is a little cheaper.
All right, let's talk about our pick of the day here.
All right. Wild Turkey Masters Keep Unforgotten. It is from Wild Turkey, as we said. It's a burr rye, so it's a blend of bourbon and rye, and MSRP was $200.
All right.
At the time
I don't
of
think
release.
I have to really say I give it a thumbs up.
You're going to give it a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Odie tasted it. She wanted to taste
I
it.
liked it.
She was
like
like
it.
I did like it.
She was making all kinds of yummy faces.
Yeah. Did I make a different face this time than I did last week?
Yeah, you
So
actually
cheers.
have good things to say about
yeah.
it.
You when you
Which
don't
means
like
you liked
something,
it.
you have bodily reactions. That
Here's
are
the
just
beautiful
not
box
awesome
that
to
comes
see.
in.
Oh.
For any of the on YouTube, beautiful.
All right.
And cheers, Ada Lovelace, who was you shocked me on that one. She's from the 1800s from England.
Okay,
So
okay. I'll do some more research. on
NASA.
it.
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
Remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. See you next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.